And we are now joined by Steve Shenbaum from Game On Nation. Steve was recently in Lexington, worked with the UK basketball team on communication, leadership, and confidence. Steve, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Thomas. I'm glad I'm there. Appreciate having you via Skype.
I know a lot of people, you look familiar, you had an acting career, you've been involved with that. Can you talk to us about your company, how you got started, and what exactly you guys do when you work with these sports teams?
Cool. That's a good start. Well, yeah, I was an actor. Did a lot of character work. I didn't love it, though. I worked some because I have a unique look, and I enjoyed auditioning. But in about 1997, I had a dear friend, still do have a dear friend. Her name is Kimberly Williams. She's married to Brad Paisley. At the time, she was dating Pete Sampras. It was many years ago, and Pete and I became friends, and we were very different. And realized when Pete said to me, Steve, I'd love to be a little more outgoing. And I thought, man, we could do something here where I could create a curriculum. So it really started, ironically, with a pretty introverted athlete in Pete Sampras. And then fast forward, Pete Sampras was represented by IMG Academies, and trained at IMG Academies, was represented by IMG. And they approached me in like 2003 and said, would you be willing to take your curriculum? And so I'll stop and say, the curriculum's kind of improv based. It's not a lot of lectures. I don't do PowerPoint. I'm not a technical guy at all, but I created a series of improv games that I had created through my experience as a theater major, and it seemed to really work with Pete. And he said to me, I wish this program was offered when I was younger. And I thought, man, that's a huge compliment. And where are there younger Pete Samprases? And lo and behold, Bradenton. So I moved in 2003 to IMG Academies, and we had an awesome 9 years there, teaching improvisation, communication, leadership, confidence. And about 5 months ago, we left and I branched out on our own. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
Now, we have some Laker fans on our crew here, so I want to point out that you did work with the NBA championship winning Dallas Mavericks last year, too, before you got involved this year with UK. As far as UK goes, how does that get started? Does John Calipari come to you and say, I have XXX I want you to work with my team on? These are the things we're going to do? Or what was that process like getting started working with Kentucky?
No, it's cool. A lot of people ask me that. It's just neat. I'll try to make it as concise as possible. When we do our work, Thomas, it's unique. I mean, it's different. I'm not going to say, oh, it's the best thing out there. There's a lot of great programs out there. We use improvisation to teach communication. I worked with Florida State for many years, so I'll try to tie this together. Was working with Florida State football. I had a blast doing that. And then we ended up working with the women's Olympic soccer team. And from there, Susan Lax, who works in the athletic department in Kentucky, had read about my work with the women's Olympic soccer team right before they won the gold. She called up a friend of hers at Florida State and said, hey, you guys work with this guy. And that administrator at Florida State said, yeah, it's very unique. It's very different. The players really respond. So really, it was Susan Lax calling up Florida State after the article. They brought me in to about 4 months ago to work with the men's football team, and as opposed to the women's football team, the men's football team and men's and women's soccer. And I did that session, and it was really well received. Coach Calipari found out about it. Some of the coaches came to him and said, I think your team would. So I had to kind of go through that audition process. Right. It wasn't like I called up Coach Cal and was like, hey, bring me in. But from that process, Kentucky was so open to unique ideas like this, and that was cool. So Coach Calipari said, yeah, I want to bring him in, and the time was right. And luckily, ESPN All Access was filming during that time. So I went in a couple weeks ago and had a blast, just like I did with football and soccer.
What is the team like? At Media Day, John Calipari said it's a quiet group. They don't communicate with each other a lot on the court. But in talking with them, they seem like off the court, they're a pretty loud group. They're very, very close. What was the impression you got in going through these sessions with them in terms of what their chemistry like is together and what type of group they are?
I knew right away, Thomas, doing a little research, a huge, fan of the teams I work with. I just go in objectively. I knew they were young, and I knew a lot of them were superstars in high school. I got to tell you, I was really impressed by two things. One, I was impressed by how connected they were, having really not known each other that long. I think that was really impressive. I've worked with teams where they've been around 2 or 3 years together, and there's not that bond. But the other thing I really was open to, and this is a testament to Coach Calipari and his staff and Kentucky, is as much hype as these guys have gotten, and his All-American, McDonald's All-American, national, and national champions as well. They were so open to get better. Coach Calipari set it up through Dwayne Peavy, who's in the athletic department staff, and just said, listen, this is going to be unique. It's not media training for you guys, communication training. It's going to help you get together. It's going to help you bond. And there was no cynicism in the room. I thought that was pretty impressive for a bunch of 19, 20, 21-year-old guys who, you know, they got a lot on their plate. So I think the last thing they want to do on a Saturday afternoon in between two practices is like, hey, let's work with this guy. So it turned out to be, I hope the footage on All Access, if they air it, it reflects the energy in the room, because these guys are good guys, man. And Coach Calipari, this isn't his first rodeo. You know, like he knows how to manage and his staff, young men, and get them in quickly and learn how to connect them and work as a cohesive unit. Because, you know, a lot of times these guys aren't playing together for 4 years, as we know.
Well, we saw on the teaser, or the promo for this week's show, which is, by the way, has been moved to tomorrow night because of Hurricane Sandy, the turtle exercise with Nerlens Noel. Everybody's cracking up laughing. Can you take us through just maybe one exercise you did with the team, maybe the goal of what the exercise was and how they responded? Yeah.
Actually, you know what, Thomas? I'm going to do one with you. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Go get your Buzz Lightyear outfit. No, I'm just kidding. It's funny. All right, man. I actually hadn't prepared this, but one of the games we did, we started out was we did a game called 1, 2, 3, and this was actually, I brought Julius up. I just sensed that he was a little older in the team and a little bit of a leader. He had a great smile. I said, "Come on up." And it's a game called 1, 2, 3. So this game, before I play it with you, this focuses on eye contact, which ironically we can still do via the internet, listening, and just honoring the other person. It's really simple. Thomas, I'm going to count 1. You're going to say 2. I'm going to say 3. We're going to rotate back and forth. We're never going to get to 4. Okay. Okay. And if you mess up, dude, it's all good. I got you. I'm serious. This is how we teach it. You ready?
Yep.
You ready? 1,
2,
3,
2.
No, then you go back to 1.
Oh, back to 1. Okay, I'm sorry. I already messed it up. All right, here we go.
No, I got your back. 1,
all right. 2,
3,
1,
2,
3,
1,
2,
3,
1,
2,
3,
1,
2,
3.
1.
Good. All right, stop there. And then normally if it's a team, we put a little clap out. Now I'm going to take away 1. And instead of 1, whoever has the 1, clap.
Okay.
You got it?
I got it.
Dude, you're locked in.
All right.
But just buy it. What you asked for, you're going to end up doing improv.
I'm dialed in. I'm ready to go.
Love it, dude. All right, so now we're going to go 1, 2, 3. But instead of 1, 2, 3, we're clap 2, 3. Clap 2, 3. You ready?
Okay. Yep.
All right, I'm going to start. Okay. You good?
I'm good.
Good.
2,
3, 2,
3, 2,
3, 2,
3, 2,
3, 2,
3, 2.
3. Good. Listen, before I say this, if my wife comes in, she's gonna be like, "I thought you were in a TV interview." She's gonna be like, "What is wrong with you, dude?"
That was good. That was good. Appreciate it. We got about 30 seconds left. If you could just summarize why this is so important to work on communication with these athletes and leadership.
I'd say in a nutshell, these guys need to light each other up, and they need to understand what makes each other light up. It's just a warm-up, man, to get them to like put their guard down, not be so tough. But the biggest thing is they all have to understand, every team, what makes each other smile. So if Nerlens loves like certain type of music, I want to know that. I may not love it, but you know what? If I can light him up and get him to smile, or if Julius, I know that he's got a great relationship with his grandmother, then that's important information for me to know. And our exercises bring that out without having them sing Kumbaya or having to hold hands and doing, trust falls. It's just authentic and real. But if these guys can understand a little bit deeper than, oh, that guy was the All-American from Wisconsin, that guy's the star.
Sorry,
from
Steve,
LA.
hate to cut you off. We've run out of time. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Thomas.